Jack Martin.
Hello everybody!
Hello!
If you're wondering what this is, I'll ask me grandma for an iPad and look what she gives us. Honestly, old people, they're useless. I would like to raise a glass to all the people who couldn't be here tonight. Lizzie Gates probably sitting in the house watching Coronation Street. I mean, get a life. Me and my dad were at a horse auction the other day, and my dad was feeling up the horse's legs, feeling up its back, feeling its mane, and I said, Dad, what you doing? He said, because when you want to buy your horse, you need to make sure it's nice and fit. And I just had this shocked look on my face. And he said, Jack, what's the matter? I said, I think the mailman wants to buy Mum. Speaking of my mum, the other day she was out shopping and I was in my living room watching my telly, and this news flash comes on saying that some idiot's driving up the motorway the wrong way. So I quickly picked up my phone, rang my mum, said, Mum, watch out, some idiot's driving up the motorway the wrong way. And she said, Jack, are you all there? Do you like impressions?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, I was on an EasyJet flight the other day, and there was this right miserable guy. Just before we took off, he came up to me and said, excuse me, this is my seat. I went, no way, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes, find somewhere else. He said, I'm sure you'll find that this is my seat. I said, no way, there's plenty of seats back there. He said, fine, you fly the plane then. My Uncle Mark is sitting over there. He drinks a lot. When Callie was just a little baby, once he came in absolutely mortal, tried to teach her how to walk, managed a few steps, keep falling over, tried again. Not a very good example to teach a baby though. Once, there was an Englishman, Scotsman and an Irishman, and they were all working on a building site. And when they were at the break, they sat down on the edge of the building site and they got the packed lunches out. The Englishman got his packed lunch bags out and said, a cheese and onion sandwich. Why does she always give us a cheese and onion sandwich? I'm sick of it. Jumps off the building site, splat, kills himself. Scotsman opens his packed lunch box, goes, a haggis. Why does she always give us a haggis? Jumps off the building site, splat, kills himself. Irishman opens his packed lunch box, goes, a cake. Why do I always get a cake? Jumps off the building site, splat, kills himself. Week later, triple funeral. All the wives are standing there, and the Englishman's wife goes, only if I knew he was getting sick of a cheese and onion sandwich, I would have given him something else. Scotsman's wife goes, only if I knew he was getting sick of a haggis, I would have given him something else. Irishman's wife goes, I just don't understand. He made his own packed lunch. My great-grandfather, I went to visit him last summer, and he absolutely loves cricket. He used to play it all the time when he was younger. And so I went to see his local cricket team next to where he lives, and when we got there, we found out that some of the players couldn't make it. Apparently there was an accident on the motorway, and they couldn't make it. Some idiot was driving up the motorway the wrong way. So they asked if there was any volunteers that would like to play in the meantime. Loads of people stood up, and my grandfather stood up, and I went, Grandfather, Dad, sit down, you need to pray. Sit down. He went, no, I want to play. So he was playing, and he was absolutely amazing. He was so good. He was catching all the balls, diving in the air, catching them. Then he went into bat, getting 4s and 6s. He was just great. He was man of the match. His team won, but he came off to a standing ovation. But then he just had a heart attack, fell onto the floor, died. A week later, when we were at his funeral, we all agreed he had a good innings. I bought me Nana a pug dog for her birthday, and despite the ugliness, the rolls of fat, the constant farting, the dog still likes her. We were actually looking after a dog the other day, And at our house, and my dad decided to throw a big house party, and some of his friends, they were so stupid, keep putting cans of beers in the dog bowl, and the dog was actually drinking it. Must have had about 12 cans over the night. God, he was break dancing on the floor, singing Who Let the Dogs Out on the karaoke. Wow, the next morning, when he woke up, I said, "How are you feeling?" He looked up and went, "Rough." My dad is not an alcoholic. That's not the joke, Grandma. But he does like to drink just as much as the next man. But the next man gets us, so I'm pretty worried. The other day, he was actually in court. The guy said, "You have been brought here for your drinking." He said, "Great, let's get started." My dad, he went out with Steve the other day, but he promised my mum he would be back by midnight. He got home at 3 o'clock in the morning, absolutely mortal. But he thought I could just sneak into bed and she wouldn't notice. But then the cuckoo clock goes off. Cuckoo 3 times, and he's a bit scared. But then he has this amazing idea very fast. He cuckoos another 9 times. He was so proud of himself. The next morning he woke up, he was so proud of himself. Everything was going fine until my mum said, "We need a new cuckoo clock." He said, "Why?" Because last night he cuckooed 3 times, went, "Oh no!" Cuckooed another 4 times, burped, cuckooed another 5 times, fell over the coffee table and farted. Different Englishmen, Scotsmen and Irishmen. They were once walking through a graveyard and they started to look at the stones for a laugh. The Englishman read one that said, "The guy lived till he was 85. The Scotsman and the Irishman went, "85? That's a long time." The Scotsman read one that said that the guy lived till he was 93. And the Englishman and Irishman went, "Wow, in 1983, that's a long time." He went, "Yeah, apparently he died playing cricket." And the Irishman seen one that said, "The guy lived till he was 120. He went, "What? 120? That's going to be a record. What's his name?" "Miles." "Miles what?" "Miles to London." Once I was walking past a farm and I seen these 2 guys cutting the wool off the sheeps, and this one guy, he was singing whilst doing it. What a voice he had. And the other one, he was kicking the ball from side to side, kicking it up in the air. Wow, he was amazing. I went into the farm and said, "Who are they?" He said, "Oh, that's just Alan Shearer and Ed Sheeran." The other morning, I was riding down this hill on my bike, and this stupid cat runs up the bushes, and I just run over it. So I jumped off my bike, checked its collar, and luckily had its address. So I went to the address, knocked on the door, and the guy opened it and said, "Hello?" And I went, "Excuse me, sir, I think I just ran over your cat." He said, "My cat? What does it look like?" I went like this. He went, "No, before you went over it." "Oh." The other day, me and my family were at a zoo, and we were walking around for ages and ages, and we didn't see any animals at all until just before we left. We seen this one animal. It's a dog. It was a dog. It was a Shih Tzu.